AIX Racing have announced their lineup for the 2025 season in FIA Formula 2. They retain the services of Joshua Dürksen and they bring in FIA Formula 3 graduate Cian Shields. Joshua Dürksen, one of the great stories coming out of 2024. He was the first driver from Paraguay to enter the Formula 2 Championship. He was visited by the president of the country in postseason testing. And then we saw him get on the podium for the first time in Imola. Of course, he then went on to take victory in the championship as well, making history for his country. He was the first driver ever for his country to win at that level. And he is getting the whole country of Paraguay behind him. He's getting people in Paraguay interested in motorsport, getting them to compete in motorsport. And Joshua Dürksen, who once had to live in the factory for the team he was competing in for COVID, is now competing in Formula 2. It was such a storybook season for him. So great to see he's back with AIX Racing, a team who many people were writing off. Now they're back with the driver who was quickest in postseason testing. Very interested to see how Joshua Dürksen does. He's been showing confidence that we've never seen from him before. Alongside him, Cian Shields. Cian, who's been accelerating through the feeder series at a very, very quick rate. Did Formula 3 last year in what was, I think, just his second season in feeder series, and he's now gone straight up into Formula 2. No doubt it's going to be a learning year for him, but he's got a good teammate next to him in Joshua Dürksen, who took a very similar step up, going straight up from FRECA into Formula 2. He learned very quickly, didn't he? So he's got a very good person next to him to learn from. Well, that's my thoughts. Let's get the thoughts of Feeder Series F2 editor Martin Lloyd to tell us more on AIX Racing.
I think AIX, as you say, Chris, are a very interesting team because you look at them last season, you look at their record in 2023, where the team didn't score a single point with an assortment of different drivers who were all experiencing a challenging time with the team. So you come into 2024 and they were known as PHM at the start of the season, and you think, well, what can they do with a driver who's come up from Formula Regional? Yes, they've got Taylor Barnard, but what is this team going to do that scored no points? And suddenly they elevate themselves from 11th in the championship up to 9th with 3 wins, which was quite some achievement given the position that they were in the year before. I think to zoom in on Dürksen, who, as you say, is in his second year in the championship now, I think his performance was so surprising that we did a feeder series. We ranked him, I believe, in our top 5 drivers of 2024, and that got a little bit of flack from a few people. But I think it's really important that we recognise when a driver has really exceeded expectations. He had such a difficult couple of seasons in Formula Regional, but he stepped up. He became the team leader at AIX, and he's really galvanised that team and given them results that they've not had on a regular basis for a long, long time as PHM or Charouz or any other guys. So I think it's been a really interesting story for Dürksen. Of course, like you say, being visited by the president of Paraguay. He came 10th in the driver's standings last year, and he'll be looking to exceed that. I think it will be difficult. I think last season, I don't think it's any secret. A lot of drivers talked about it, that he has some kind of incredible straight line speed that maybe helped him in the championship, but he also showed some really good racecraft. He showed that he can pull away from drivers, he can manage tyres, he can qualify well, and I think all of these attributes that Dürksen has managed to bring within himself means that he could be on for another good season. If you look on the other side of the garage, you've got Cian Shields, who is going to be learning a lot this year. He stepped up from Formula 3 with High Tech, where he did have a really difficult season. But I think it's important for AIX that Dürksen is able to lead that team. They've got someone who they know, or they at least hope is going to be able to deliver for a second season, and then they can use that second seat to allow a young driver to try to develop. He competed, did Shields, in the last couple of rounds of Formula 2 2024 with a best finish of 11th in that slightly crazy Losail feature race that we had. And I think it will be a difficult season for Shields because he's, like you say, he's accelerated through those feeder series so quickly. But with a team leader like Joshua Dürksen on the other side, you never know what's possible, and it's Formula Two. So as AIX Racing always used to say, anything can happen in Formula Two. So it could be a difficult one for Shields, but he could surprise us, as you say, like Dürksen did last season.
I think that's a great way to round that segment up. Anything can happen, and Joshua Dürksen could be definitely one to watch this year. He's going to be a really, really exciting package along with AIX coming into this season. Well, that's the thoughts of myself and Martin Lloyd. Tell us your thoughts on AIX Racing in the comments below.